Hey guys, I'm Joel with North Country Vans. Welcome back to another build video. And today I'm going to go over a technique that allows you to measure out odd shapes in your van so you can get pieces of wood to fit in these complex curvatures. So on the wall here you can see where I have a piece of 1/4-inch birch plywood that's cut into that factory stamped out window opening, and it looks pretty nice. It's tight up all around all the edges there. And I'm going to show you a technique that you can adapt if you're doing, let's say, the subfloor in your van and you're trying to figure out where the wheel wells are at and where any stake pockets might be along the wall. Or maybe you're doing the headliner of your van and you're trying to get a shelf up in there and you need to figure out exactly where you need to cut that board so it sits up tight in that headliner along that whole arc of it. So let me take you to the spot that we're working on right now and I'll show you how to do it. All right, so we're at the back of the van and we're working on the passenger side flare. Now, typically when you have flares in your van, you would just frame these out, building a trim ring to essentially a box that would protrude through your final wall covering into the flare, and that gives you the additional couple inches so you can sleep sideways if you're tall. I'm doing it a little differently. I don't want to have that sharp box 90-degree corner all the way around the opening. I want it to kind of flow into there with soft edges to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insulate it and then I'm going to carpet and roll that carpet down all of these corners into this flare. But I didn't want to have the entire flare to be carpet. I thought that might look like it's too much, and I wanted something, because my feet are going to be here, I'm going to be kicking it sometimes, something a little tougher than just the carpet there. And so what I needed to do was figure out a way to attach wood right to that fiberglass. And that fiberglass is only about 1/8 of an inch thick, so I couldn't put a screw in it because it protrude on the other side. So what I ended up using was called Sikaflex 291. It's a marine adhesive. It's meant to bond wood to fiberglass, and it's really strong stuff. Very similar to the glue that we use to attach the fiberglass flares to the outside of the van. But yeah, so if you guys are dealing with older vans that have the fiberglass toppers on them, if they've had roof leaks to them, it's pretty likely that the wooden strinkers underneath that fiberglass are going to be rotted out. So a good option is you can cut those out and then use Sikaflex and put wood back up there so that way you can screw your sealing material against that and have it fairly strong. So that's what we did here. We used the Sikaflex and the wood furring strips, and now I need to figure out, how am I going to get a piece of 1/4-inch birch plywood to fit into this opening that looks nice? And in order to do that, I'm going to use a ticking stick. And this comes from the boat building world because they're dealing with so many complex shapes. And all you have to do is you take your stick, take the point of it, you put it where the end of your board is going to be, and you just make a mark in there into the tick. And then that gives you basically a pattern that you can use for your final board. And so as you get to the curves or complex shapes, the more ticks that you have, the more accurate your final product is going to be. So when you get to these radiuses, make sure that you're getting every about 1/4 inch of that radius and making a mark on your pattern. So I'm going to get the rest of these done. I have the other 2 corners to do. Then we'll transfer it over the workbench and we'll cut it out and go from there. All right, so I have my pattern board on top of my final board, and I've taped it down in the 4 edges here, just as I'm pushing things around. I don't get it out of position. And so what I have to do is take my ticking stick and then just advance it each notch and then put a little dot right at the tip there, and that'll give me the pattern that I need to cut out. So I've gotten all of our points plotted out on the board here. And so now I got to play the game of connect the dots, and that'll give me my cutout. But I wanted to point one thing out for you. If you notice, some of these dots don't quite line up perfectly with their counterparts. They're kind of scattered around a little bit. And that's because as I use this ticking stick and I reline it back up, a little bit off here will cause a lot of movement at the tip there. So that's to be expected. Don't worry about it. If you have enough points to plot, you can kind of get the average of it, and that'll give you a good indication of what that shape is, and then just trace it out and cut it. So that's what I'm going to do here, and then fingers crossed it fits in there. So look at that. There we go. So good deal. And if you guys are going to use this technique, you're going to have to make yourself a ticking stick. And it's a really simple, this is just a scrap piece of plywood I had laying around, and I cut it with a jigsaw. So just bring it to a fine tip and then make the notch like that. And that'll allow you to get nice and accurate when you're doing these shapes. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this was beneficial for your projects, and I will check in with you when we get to insulating this one. And that part is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good discussion about it. So I'm looking forward to it. But until next time, I'll see you.